Hey guys, I'm Sarah Beth and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share a quick review on the Prana Mat Echo. So the Prana Mat is basically an acupressure mat or like a modern day bed of nails. It has a bunch of little lotus flowers on it, and each lotus flower has about 25 spikes. So there's got to be like 1,000 spikes on this mat. You can use this for back pain, neck and shoulder pain, headaches, falling asleep faster. People use it for energy. People use it for cellulite reduction, sciatica. There's a lot of different ways to use this mat. And I found a lot of success specifically in the tension relieving relaxation qualities of this mat. The first time that I used it, I laid it down on my bed. I put a pillow underneath my knees, a pillow underneath my shoulders, and got comfortable on the mat. And right away I wished that I had had like a thin cotton t-shirt between me and the mat, because the skin to mat contact was a little bit too much the first time that I used it. So I definitely recommend the first time something between you and the mat, but you do get used to it. So upon first opening up the box that the Prana Mat came in, I saw that it came with this user guide, which I found to be very helpful because it gives you suggestions for how long to use it for what you're using it for. It also comes in 4 different languages. Not that I speak 4 different languages, but I know that you guys are global. So if you're Latvian, Russian, French, or you speak English, this speaks to you. If you're going to use the mat and lay on it, the recommendation is to use it for up to 20 minutes for stimulation, for energy, and then after 20 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes for relaxation, tension relief, and falling asleep. It's funny, my husband first saw the mat and was like, no, that's your thing. Like, I'm not interested, not going to try it. And then he came home with back pain from basketball, and I was like, hey, like, you want to try this mat? Maybe it'll work. He laid it on the ground and kicked his feet up on the love sack so that his lower back would push into the mat, and he fell asleep. And he loved it so much that he came back to use it like every day for a week for that back pain, and he's since used it to fall asleep in bed by just laying it on the bed, laying on it for 30 minutes maybe. He probably just fell asleep and then woke up and moved the mat, went back to bed. So my husband loves it, and I love it because I've used it for tension relief. I have neck and shoulder tension that kind of comes and goes. I've seen a chiropractor. I am continuing to see a chiropractor. I see an acupuncturist who also does cupping every 2 weeks. And I found that this mat is really nice to use in between to supplement all those treatments. I've also used it to help me fall asleep. That's great. But the one time I used this mat that totally sold me on it was when I used it for a tension headache that was keeping me up at night. I propped it up in such a way that it was pushing into my upper back, pushing into the back of my neck. I had it specifically pushing into I think it's called occipital trigger points at the back of my skull, and it even was touching the back of my skull. And I was laying on it that way for probably 25 minutes, I don't know. But there was a moment where I realized that I didn't have a headache anymore, and I was ready to fall asleep and go to bed. And that to me was like, holy cow, this mat is amazing. For me, that one moment was enough for me to want to buy this mat, and I already own it, so I'm thankful for that. But I know other people have used it for energy by placing it on the ground and standing on it. Or placing it on the ground and sitting down and then placing your feet on it, just pushing your feet into the mat. People place their hands on the mat to stimulate the different acupressure points in the hands. People use it for cellulite reduction, for sciatic pain. And of those many ways that you can use this mat, I've definitely found the most success with the tension relief, the pain relief, falling asleep, the headache relief. You can practice yoga on the mat, and I tried. And let me tell you that if you do practice yoga on an acupressure mat, stick to the restorative routines, like the deep stretch series. There are suggestions for how to use your prana mat in your yoga practice on their website. I definitely found that some of my favorite would be legs up the wall, with your legs up the wall laying down on the mat, a seated forward fold on the mat with it underneath your hips and legs, shavasana on the mat, definitely. And even like a standing forward fold on the mat would be an interesting sensation, getting both your feet and your hands touching the mat at the same time and just holding that posture for a while and seeing how your body reacts to it. Overall, I love this mat. And again, even if it's just for the tension relief, falling asleep faster, and the headache relief, that to me is reason enough to have this mat, to own it, and to want to keep it close. If you have a prana mat, or an acupressure mat, or if you've ever used one, please comment down below to let me know what you thought. Let me know if you've had success with it, how you use it. I would love to find new ways to use this mat. And if you have any questions, let me know as well. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.